It's your boy, man. What's up, man? 800 Stiz Hours, man. T Dub. You know what I'm saying? Prophet de jour. God, man. Form, baby. Welcome to another episode of Thailand TV, baby. You know how we do. Hey, we getting into the flow of this thing now. Starting to add some pizzazz, man. Switching it up a little bit, man. Add some things here. Um, I'm gonna keep adding to it, man. Making it the best that I can for you, man. I'm trying to bring you as much information and positivity and love as I can with this medium that we have and the ability that we have to talk to each other through social media. I love it. I love it. So yeah, once again, we back at it again. Yeah, man. I was talking to y'all. Posted last night about your boy, man. I was watching go to Denver Nuggets taking on the OKC. Man, that boy, man. The Joker, man. The Joker ain't no joke, man. Like for real, though. For real, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. I put a post up and I said, man, this dude, man, is phenomenal. And at the moment, the reason why I posted that is because the dude had the ball. We talk, man. Look. I'm real, right? Like I spit it how it comes out, but I speak it with a little bit of intelligence and articulate, so you can understand what I'm saying at the same time, feel what I'm saying. So check this out, man. We talking about a 7'2", 3" big, just burly dude. You know what I'm saying? And not slender at all, not one of the fastest out there. But this dude gets the ball, hit the 3-point line. It's about 7 seconds left on the clock. He looking. The defense is all over the place. Got his boys on lock, man. He can't find nobody to pass it to, man. So he's standing, looking at the rim. He's facing the rim. Turns around. Boom. Can't find nobody. Does a 180, turns around. Boom. All of a sudden, does another 180. And in the midst of that 180, he turns and just flings up the shot. Now, when I mean to tell you splashy, right? If y'all in basketball, y'all know what I mean when I say that, man. It just hit the bottom of the net, dog. Like it literally just hit the bottom of the net. You know what I'm saying? Like if you seen the way the dude just really just turned around and just threw the ball, but it was a shot. Like literally, it was. If you watch it slow motion, that was a shot. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he just was last minute just heaving, hoeing, Hail Mary. No, he actually turned and let that thing fly. And just that moment, man, when I seen that, man, I was like, that dude is crazy, man. That dude, I see why he has been given the MVP consecutive years, because the things that he does, man, at his size, and with his athletics, with his lack of athleticism. I mean, we got to be real, right? I mean, he isn't one of the most athletic guys out there, but his mechanics are just insane. His footwork is insane. His vision is insane. And the way, if you just watch the dude, man, like the way he reads the deep, we learned something. There's a saying that we learn in basketball is take what the defense gives you, right? And like literally you can watch him, you know what I'm saying, like dissecting what the defense is doing and what the defense is giving them. And man, this dude there, man, Jokic, man, is he the truth, man? He the truth. Paul Pierce, man, he the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? The dude is just plays basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? He makes the right plays. He's a great passer, you know. Good. I think it's good for the game as far as showing that you don't have to be the most athletic person all the time. You don't have to be flying around dunking on everybody all the time. But you do have to be somebody that just understands the fundamentals and the basics of things. And just IQ is on 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Just always thinking the game. And dude is doing that, man. I feel bad for him that he ran up against a buzzsaw like OKC with the young guns. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's how it is. It can only be one. It can only be one at the top. You know what I'm saying? Remember the King of the Hill? You know what I mean? Back in the day, you used to play King of the Hill on the Snow Mountains. So it can only be one at the top. You know what I'm saying? So I still think OKC is going to take that out, man. Them young dudes is playing some ball. Um, and they just long athletic dudes all over the place. But I do want to give my props. Take this moment and just give my props to Nikola Jokic. That dude is a real full man. Fast. I would love to play with him. I would have loved to play with a basketball player like that, with a center like that. And he ain't got no. He ain't no punk either. You know what I'm saying? Like he go up in there, he bang with kids, man. He be banging with dudes, man. And getting rebounds, man, putting it right back up, man. Layup game is on his layup game's on truth, dude. His layup game is on truth too. So, but yeah, big shout outs to him, man. OKC gonna take this one though, and then man, I feel bad for my boys, man. Cleveland, man. I told y'all, man, I'm shocked with the record that they have this year. Um, for them to be handled like they did by Indiana, sent them home fishing last night. Once again, man, watch these teams, man, and look at them, man. Like this Indiana team, man, they got these young, long dudes, man, just be everywhere. Man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what you gonna do, man? You got 3, 4, 6, 7, 6, 8, 6, 9 dudes with long arms, just athletic as hell, flying all over the place, right? What do you do? You know what I'm saying? What do you do with that? I mean, you can do as much as you can. And Donovan Mitchell, he's one of the most underrated stars in the NBA right now. Very, very underrated, especially with his output and the way he's able to just play so fluently with the game and score. In he can score in there in the trees. He can hit off of pull-ups, dribble drive, pull-up game. His layup package is dope, and he's strong with the ball too. So, as far as him, being up and coming, I think I honestly I think being in Utah, as long as he was, may have shattered his ability to grow into a superstar because that market at that time that he was there was very low. So if he was in a better market, like a Cali market, a New York market, even a Dallas, even a Texas market or something like that, Chicago maybe, it would have been different. Now he's over at Cleveland. They got a pedigree over there of winning, because of LeBron. So now that's kind of what they expect. And I was expecting it this year for them dudes, man, at least to go, you know what I'm saying, at least to make it all the way to Eastern Conference Finals, if not be in the finals. But it's a shocker, you know what I'm saying? But that's how cookie crumbles, man. It's only one winner, man. You know what I'm saying? And the sun shines on the dog ass every once in a while, you know what I mean? So see y'all later, man. Go fishing. Go ahead and have some fun out there, Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Diamond 4-5 life. 4-5 life. I love that 4-5 life. You know I do. So much love to you. I know you'll be back next year to do the damn thing again. Today is probably going to be a day of 2 other teams going fishing today. Unless Steph Curry come back, I gotta say, man, like I said, Bulls in 5. You know what I'm saying? So Steph comes out of there, out of that locker room, then you know what I mean? It may be a problem, but I think this was easily handled by the Timberwolves. And then the game before that, the New York Knicks. Just the way that they've been playing at the end of games, man. I've been watching these games pretty closely, especially with these 2 teams, the T-Wolves and the Knicks. You know how I feel about that trade situation. So I'm watching these 2 teams. But watching the Knicks and the Celtics, one thing that I've just been able to watch that's been magnificent is the way that the Knicks have just literally willed their way to wins every game. They literally took the wins every game. These games have never any games that look like they were just Knick dominated games, that it just looked like the Knicks just won handily or led throughout the course of the game. Most of the games they were down by double digits. I think all of them. I think all 4 games they were down double digits. To the tune of, there was one game that was down 30, one game they was down 20. So they've been clawing their way, and I'm telling you, man, I watched them claw their way back from 20 points down in the third quarter, literally score, get a stop. They score, Knicks score. Celtics score. Knicks score. Celtics stopped. Knicks score again. Celtics stopped. Knicks score again. Celtics score again. You know what I'm saying? So basically scoring twice every time that they score. It's just like every single game until they get down to the last defensive possessions by the Knicks, and they literally stop three games in a row. So honest man, with this one too, I think Celtics might be going fishing, man, with the way the Knicks been playing in the biggest time frame of the game, the fourth quarter. The way the Knicks have been playing in that fourth quarter, man, it's just been insane. It's been insane. And unless they figure out something to fix it, I mean, Tatum's down. Jaylen Brown, you know what I'm saying? It's your time to shine. A few years ago, I used to always wonder why, you know what I'm saying, everybody was always talking about Tatum and not Jaylen Brown as much. And now it's your time to actually, you know, give them a reason to have that conversation right now. So you're down, Steph Curry's down, and those are the two reasons why I feel like those teams might be going fishing today. For sure, Golden State. You guys are up out of there. You're right off the ocean, so go ahead to your beach houses. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Wolves at 5, man. I said it. Hey, so handle your business, T-Wolves. And do your thing, man. Get your composure together, man. Hit them shots. Get a couple of highlight dunks tonight. You know what I'm saying? Randall, do your thing, dog. Beast mode, man. Beast mode on these fools. And all the rest of the guys, man, the squad, man. Y'all know what to do. McDaniels, Alexander Walker, Reed, DiVincenzo. We're going to be watching y'all tonight, man. Minnesota in the house, man. We're watching y'all tonight, man. Yeah, but let's get into it, baby. Since we talking about sports, and that's really what I love to talk about is sports. So I'm going to talk about sports. Today's episode is about, man, let's get into it, man, the GOAT debate. Let's talk about the GOAT, man. Who the GOAT? Who is the GOAT, right? You might be talking about the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Everybody nowadays, the thing about this, reason why I brought this up is because how frequently people toss out that word, right? Everybody's the GOAT of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody's the GOAT of anything. Anybody do a crossover, make somebody fall and hit a three. Oh, they the GOAT. They the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So now it's kind of starting to get watered down on what the GOAT actually is, right? The GOAT means GOAT, the greatest of all time, right? Greatest of all time. So when you dissect it like that, you got to understand that it's talking about the greatest person or entity of whatever you're talking about that has ever known, since the inception of whatever you're talking about. Right. So we're talking about basketball. So we talk about the GOAT of basketball. We're talking about the greatest person to ever play that game since the inception of the game up until at least now. Right. You know, how do you figure that out? How do you figure out who the GOAT is? You know what I'm saying? Because to me, there's a lot of categories. And I think that's where we get everything messed up, is that I think a lot of people are making people the GOAT because they are the best at whatever category they could be placed in. And like you gotta break it down to those categories. You gotta figure it out. I think once you figure out who's the best in certain categories, you can kind of slim it down to who's the GOAT, because a lot of people aren't the best in any categories, but it had GOAT conversations. A lot of people are the best in categories, but ain't the best in any other categories. In one category in particular, and another person is better in that in another category, right? So then when people start using certain categories as their reason for why they say a person is the GOAT, you got to understand that somebody else's category stands over your category to them. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when you get into it, like one of the arguments is most rings, right? That's a huge topic when people are arguing about the GOAT. People, about whoever the greatest is, people always bring up rings, right? Always. It's always a topic. Am I lying? If I'm lying, I'm flying. I'm sitting right here. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about that argument of it, who is that? Bill Russell. Bill Russell has the most rings in the NBA. He's won the most championships. He's got 11. He's got both hands and started on his toes with rings, with championship rings, man. High quality championship diamond out rings. He's got 11 of them. People argue about that. So if you're going to use that as your catalyst to back up the reason why you say your player is the GOAT, then that is the GOAT of rings. That is the person who's out of the NBA who has the most NBA championship rings, right? And if you look at it like that, I mean, he is. People have had conversations. People have stood on saying that Bill Russell's in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Not a high number, but there are people that do make that claim. And that's one of the reasons why, is because he was able to win so many rings, so many championships. I mean, the guy was just, a fierce competitor. You know what I'm saying? Like a fierce competitor. And I think that type of mentality helps you win rings, because of the fact that you can bring your team up to the level of playing at a high energy level because you ask for that. And, you can be an anchor in the paint. Bill Russell was an anchor in the paint, which is a huge component of basketball and also a big factor in winning games. What goes on in the paint? What goes on in the paint? Rebounding, blocking shots, right? And those are two things that can change the course of games. And Bill Russell was very good at both of those things. And especially back in the day when he was playing, rebounding and blocking shots could make a huge impact on the decision of how games went. And with him being so good at being able to do that, reading players, timing the way he was blocking shots, timing the way he was rebounding the ball, you get into a situation where you're like, you basically are controlling the paint. And if you control the paint, especially back in the day, if you control the paint, you control the game. That's why you had 11 of them. So, right, is he the GOAT? You know what I'm saying? Is he the GOAT? Because he won 11 rings. You know what I'm saying? People have a lot of rings. Magic got like 5. You know what I'm saying? Kobe got 5. J Bone got 6. Robert Horry got 7, I think, right? You know what I'm saying? So, when Robert Horry, we're going to talk about Robert Horry being the GOAT too. I mean, Robert Horry said he'd go. He got 7. You know what I'm saying? So, he got 7 of them, right? You know what I mean? So you got to understand when you have these conversations and you bring up the best in those categories. Who is the best in those categories, first of all? And is that category more important than another one? Like the best scorer. I mean, who's the best scorer? Right now, I think I'm right about this, but LeBron this year or last year? Recently, LeBron just took over the throne from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as being the NBA player with the most points in the history of the NBA. He scored more points than anybody else in the history of the NBA. And that says a lot. I mean, you put a lot of points on the board, man. You scored a whole bunch of points on an NBA floor. And I mean that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because scoring is huge. I mean, do we dissect it and say how long you've been playing, how many games you played, how many years you played, when you started playing, because you came out of high school, and a lot of people that Kareem, who you took it from, didn't come out of high school. He actually played in college 3 years, I think it was 3. And so when you start looking at it like that, you can start dissecting it and even refining it a little bit. But LeBron has scored the most points in the history of the NBA. So now you use that as an argument. People, like I said, when you start dissecting it into the categories, now you start figuring out, okay, who is the best at this? Who's the best at this? And, the man who's put the most points on the board is LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? You can't argue that, right? So that we talk about facts when we talk about things in this world. And one of those things when it comes to sports is numbers don't lie. So, his numbers say that he can put up points. You know what I mean? I think one of the best categories I love is for me the most dominant, right? I think that's a huge impactful category for me in debating who would be the greatest of all time. But then again, like I said, right, it's a category, so you got to look at who's top in that category. And for me, the most dominant player to ever walk on the face of that game is Shaquille O'Neal. Slash Shaquille O'Neal slash Wilt Chamberlain. I'm gonna give it to both because I can't take Wilt out. You know what I'm saying? It's something about the magnitude of this man, especially at that time when he was playing, especially in that era that he was playing, the magnitude of this huge dude who was, like I was talking about with Jokic. Jokic is a big old dude, not that athletic, but now let's say you got a big old dude who is athletic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Wilt Chamberlain was a track star. He was a track star. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm talking about I mean, there's pictures of, you look up, you Google Wilt Chamberlain, they got pictures of him literally in the air with his arm out over somebody's head. He probably jumping at the free throw line, jumping straight up in the air, and his arm is out over somebody's head, almost touching the rim. From the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? It's over. But that was Wilt. You know what I'm saying? He was like that, right? And you know, just a dominant force, man. I mean, you couldn't get nothing up in the air on him, man. He had a 100-point game. He had a 100-point game. Now they ain't got no film on this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we just seeing the numbers afterwards. But he had a 100-point game. He scored a hundo in the game. Ain't nobody ever scored a hundo. You know what I'm saying? But your boy Kobe was right there with the 81s though. But Wilt scored a hundo. All right. Did he have a quintuple double? Quintuple double? He had a quintuple double? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. He had a quintuple double. So he had double in points, double in rebounds, double in assists, double in blocks, and double in steals. He had 5 categories he had doubles in. Dominant, bro. That's dominant. You can't get no more dominant than somebody just doubling up on every category that there is. That means like literally, if you think about, you got double in points, double in rebounds, double in blocks, double in steals, and double in assists. You're everywhere. You're literally every aspect of the game you're in. You're the ball is touching you in every aspect of the game, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the dominant. That right there, a quintuple and then a 100-point game is dominant. Like that's you can't say no more than that, man. Funny thing is, he used to run up against Bill Russell. he played there. Yes, Bill Russell. Bill Russell got 11. Bill Russell got 11. Will got 11. That's the old. That was. I guarantee you, we'll probably have about 15 if Bill Russell wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's big shout out to Bill Russell. But at the same time, man, just letting y'all know that the magnitude of this massive dude, and at the same, this freakish athlete, just huge guy. And then, like I said, the former Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq Daddy, boy, broke back. They had to redefine how they built basketball structures. They had to redefine how they built the casing and the housing for how they have the basketball rim and backboard in the gymnasium for this guy. They had to change it, and they didn't change it just once. They had to change it multiple times because the dude was just breaking backboards. First of all, he's breaking the glass. He was breaking the rim from the glass backboard, first of all. Then second of all, when they changed it to double up the structure, now he was just breaking the backboard, pulling the whole backboard down, breaking the backboard off. Then when they tried to double structure that, he literally just broke the whole system and brought the whole mechanism down. Dominant. That's dominant right there. That's dominant. If you talk about dominant, that's dominant. He was the one dude, I'm telling you, you did not, it wasn't that you didn't want to be in the rim when he came there, but you didn't want to make any action or motion towards him because your momentum to him would just increase the pain that you were going to be getting that he delivered people, bro. You know what I'm saying? If he drop, oh man, I see so many victims, man, of his drop step turn clobber. Clobber. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, hey, dominant, just dominant. Like the most dominant big man in the game, for real, straight up, hands down. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like, copy all kind of categories. You got a defensive category. You know what I'm saying? Like who's one of the best defensive players? I mean, because that's a category, a guy that can stop somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I go with I would say the glove. Man, I like the glove, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's two dudes in particular that stand out to me. And like I said, most of this stuff is gonna be a little bit biased. I know I'm a history buff, so I know some guys that stand out to me in the history wise, but most of these guys are in my mind now because of what I saw, like literally seen them play. And GP, man, the glove man was one of the illest players because of his defense, man. Just the way that he was just mentally tuned in on playing defense and stopping somebody, and his ability to be able to go out there and do that on a consistent basis. Has made him a great player. I mean, offensively, he wasn't one of the best players, but defensive wise, it just, it wasn't an easy day for you if you had Gary Payton on your on your next game list. You know what I'm saying? On your player breakdown for your next game, because they knew GP was going to be trying to lock you up and lock you down. Patrick Beverly, man. I mean, you don't hear him and this is the thing about these guys right here, man. They don't really get talked about as a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they literally control games just by the way that they play defense. Patrick Beverly, I love his defensive mindset because of the fact that people talk about this all the time. Patrick Beverly was actually a baller, man. I don't know if y'all know this. Y'all look him up, man. In high school, he was balling, man. He was dropping like 50-point games. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like killing fools, man. So, for him to transition into a total only defensive minded basketball player in the NBA it's pretty big, man. You got to be able to do that. You got to be able to go from somebody who's like 50 points in high school games. You the man, bro. You the man. And all of a sudden, you got to go in here and you're running plays for everybody. You're giving everybody else the ball, and you just got to come in here and you got to lock these guys down. And him, Patrick Beverly, and GP were some of the best trash talkers in the history of the game. GP, I think they say is like the top dog when it comes to trash talking. Nobody talks more trash than him. KG was one of the illest trash talkers in the game too. He was a defensive player, one of the defensive players too. Great offensive player and defensive player too. So you know what I'm saying? Like his name, especially when he was playing, was talked around as being one of the greatest players, man. So big up to KG, man. You know what I'm saying? His mentality, man. I live by his mentality. You know what I'm saying? Once that ball goes up, man, we ain't friends. You know what I'm saying? You on my team, you on my team. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't, I don't even know you. But then afterwards, we can go hang out. You know what I'm saying? Kick it, talk, or whatever. But when that game is going on, if you ain't on my team, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? So KG was dope with that one. But the defensive guys, man, I mean, it is a category, man. But a lot of people don't use that category, the marks in those categories to rank the GOAT. It's always coming in like the second stepchild, you know what I'm saying? Like it's brought in every once in a while. They're like, well, yeah, so and so was this defensive player of the year for, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they talk about it, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they be like, they disqualify people because well, they weren't on there, you know what I'm saying? And so it's a category. It's definitely a category in the debate of who is one of the greatest players to come out of playing this game. One of the best categories that everybody loves, pure shooters, just straight shooters, straight up shooters. You know what I'm saying? The hands down greatest shooter for me is Kobe. I think Kobe's one of the illest shooters in the game in the history of basketball. He just was and I don't look at it like shooters is having a high percentage, you know what I'm saying? Like the highest percentage, but I feel like these guys, you can find them locking in at certain points of the game to where they don't miss. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen Kobe. Like I've literally been at games and I've literally watched Kobe um, come down, go off a screen, get double teamed, dribble off to the side, close to the sideline, and pull up on two defenders, arms stretched straight up in the air, and pull up over both of them, and literally almost fade away three, nothing but net. You know what I'm saying? And um, your boy Curry, he doing that now. But see, the Curry got the cheat code, bro. See, that's why you gotta understand. It's not what you know, it's who you know sometimes. Curry got the cheat code, man. His daddy, you know what I'm saying? His daddy was one of the illest shooters in the game, too. His daddy was one of the purest. His daddy was in an era where, you know what I'm saying, him, Allen Houston, like them type of shooters, man. Ray Allen, young Ray Allen, they was like shooters, like cold, you know what I'm saying? They come off that screen, pop, yeah, Reggie, you know what I'm saying? They pop that ass, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, afternoon show. But them pure shooters, I know everybody love them shooters, man. That's what's cracking off in today's society and today's young people. Some shooters, man. They love them shooters. If you're gonna be a shooter though, make sure you study the game, man. Some of these names I'm popping off to you, Google them. If you young people when you watching this, or you older people, you coaches, you trainers. I do this a lot with my kids. I send them a name, or I send them a video, a YouTube video of a certain player that's similar to what they do. And these shooters, these guys, you want to be shooters, you guys got to go in history and watch these shooters, man. Watch shooters, because man, it's an art. Shooting is an art, man. Shooting is an art. Kobe was one of the coldest at it, man. I mean, he did create one of the illest shots in the history of the game. Only a few people. This is why you look at the goats, right? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one if not the, I think the first, created the first unguardable shot. You couldn't guard it. You couldn't guard it. The hook shot, you couldn't guard it. You couldn't guard it, man. The Kareem skyhook, you couldn't guard it, man. I'm serious. It just couldn't. It could not be guarded. You know what I'm saying? Kobe with the fadeaway. I think Michael Jordan did it. A lot of people did it, but Kobe perfected it. Kobe perfected it, especially with his footwork, to the point where you couldn't guard it. You know what I'm saying? Like the only thing you could do was contest it, put a hand up at it, and hope he missed. But you couldn't really guard it. You know what I'm saying? Um, the AI crossover. You know what I'm saying? It was just an unguardable move. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally got to what you want. You could get to your spot with this crossover that created so much space for you. And for a shooter, that's all you need is space. You just need enough of a body space between you and your defender to get your shot up. And any move that can create that for you, you know what I'm saying, is dope. Allen Iverson created that with the crossover. Crossover's been around. It is a technique that's been around forever, but AI perfected it. And he was a scorer too. Like he was a shooter too. Like, you know what I'm saying? He pull up game on you real quick. He cross you, pull you. You know, that was it. You know what I'm saying? So there's been some great shooters in the game. Kobe hands down on top. Steph's trying to take that from him. And he's doing it. But still, as of right now, I think the coldest shooter in the veins is still Kobe Bryant. No lethal shooter better than that. One category for me would be biggest heart, man. Who just had the biggest heart, man? Who could just go out there and just do what they got to do. I name my top, Allen Iverson. I remember seeing a picture one time where it showed it was just kind of a picture of Allen Iverson standing up, and it showed, you know, arrows to every area of his body that was hurting. You know what I'm saying? Every injury that he had. And I mean, it had to at least been like, 16. It was double digits amount of places that he injured, and you would never know it because he went out there and played every game. He went out there and played, unless he was like really, really, you know what I'm saying, injured. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying, that man went out there and played, and he went in there with the sticks, man. He went in there with the trees, and he stood up to anybody, man. He talked that trash, he walked that walk, and he had a swagger to him that was new for what the NBA had saw. He had a character to him, and he promoted that character every single day. And he was real with who he was, and he never changed for anybody. And just that mentality alone made him, you know what I'm saying, one of the greatest and somebody that has had his name talked about as being in the GOAT conversation too. So Allen Iverson, man, big up to you, man. You know what I'm saying? You my era was coming up when you was, so you know what I'm saying, you was pioneering that mindset that you have. And we love that. We love that, man, because you brought hip hop to the game, man. You brought hip hop to the NBA. So and you combine the two. So I appreciate that for you, brother. And that goes into it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, that heart and passion for the game, you know what I'm saying, comes out in some players and some of the stuff that they do, you gotta love them. Like Allen Iverson with the whole um practice, practice, so a lot of people don't understand that means, but just talking about the fact of why the media was pressing on him about being at practice all the time, when he was like, yo, I show up at the games, you know what I'm saying, every game I'm showing up no matter what. And for him to be able to pull off those antics, we make excuses for that because of his passion, for the game. We understand how much he loves the game. And like I said, man, everything he brought to the game, and I appreciate that. You got your passers, man. You got the best passers in the game, John Stockton, one of the illest passers. Steve Nash was the illest passer. Um, Pistol Pete was a good passer. You know what I'm saying? And um, people that just created for others. The scorers too. They were scorers too, but they just created for others. Um, you know, it's an art, man. Passing the ball is an art. You got to be able to put the ball where it needs to be. You got to be able to pass it to the players so that only your player can catch the ball. And some of these guys, man, don't get as much of GOAT conversations than everybody else. But I mean, pass assists are a huge part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets others involved, it gets others going. And an assist is an assist is a point. It's not a percentage. If you get an assist, motherfucker scored, right? So it's a huge topic. Nobody uses that criteria as they use the other ones, but it gets talked about a little bit. So you gotta bring it up as a category, like who's the best in that category. You know what I'm saying? So um, passing is such a huge thing that you can't have a conversation of the GOAT without talking about somebody that knows how to pass. I mean, LeBron James is a great passer for his size and what he does and what he brings, but he could be um, more selfish. You know what I'm saying? So there's some people out there that can be like that. So they almost use that as a hindrance for his talk about when they talk about him in the GOAT category. Um, and you got your guys who do it all. You know what I'm saying? You got some do it all play. See, this is what I'm talking about, like as far as categories, because now you got to do it all, right? Category, like a guy that does everything. Russell Westbrook. He does everything. He does everything. He rebounds, assists, um, um, he scores. You know what I'm saying? I mean, his shot mechanics aren't the best. You know what I'm saying? But he scores. He can get you right now at his veteran age. He can get you about 15. He can get you about 15. He can get you triple double. He averaged triple double for 3 seasons. He averaged a triple double for 3 seasons, Russell Westbrook. He averaged a triple double for 3 seasons. Are you understanding the magnitude of this, right? People talk about the GOAT and they don't understand what I just said. This man averaged a triple double for 3 seasons. Do you and people that sit there and talk about how much they think know about basketball and how much they basketball fanatos and how many people out here have these basketball shows? Do you realize what I just said? Like, this guy averaged a triple double, double points, double assists, and double rebounds for 3 seasons in the NBA, bro. Like, that's huge. Like, for real, as a sports person, and not only a sports person, as a person who loves and breathes basketball, who myself, who understands the creative idea of Dr. James Naismith, and the progression and evolution of this game since the first time that man grabbed a basketball and put it in a basket. 3 seasons of averaging a triple double in the NBA. But Russell Westbrook ain't throwing in that GOAT conversation. He ain't throwing in that GOAT conversation, right? And Somebody who has been, who I think should be, Big O, the Big O, Oscar Robertson, man. And I got a story about him in a second, but Big O, average triple double. He was doing it all. Like he had a stroke, he had a shot too. So he busting people down, bro, busting people down, like a pull up game, whack them. You know what I'm saying? Getting to the rack on people, bam, rebounding on fools, bam, solid dude, right? And dropping dimes, man. Like Big O, dog. The Big O. The Big O was cold, man. He was cold. He was Russell Westbrook. Big O was Russell Westbrook before we had Russell Westbrook. That's what he was. You know what I'm saying? And my quick story about the Big O is in this particular time I was at Roosevelt. I was supposed to be doing a book report, and it was like getting to the last few days before the book report was due, and I was like, all right, man. So I'd already had the book picked out. It was Big O. I picked it out at the library. I was like, oh yeah, this is interesting. I'll read it. And I started reading the book, a couple of pages of the book, and I was like, man, got to be a couple of days before the book report, and I was like, man, all right, man, let me see what I'm gonna do here. So I picked up the book. I started reading the front of the book. I started reading the back of the book. I read a couple of pages on the inside. I read a couple of pages before the end, and then I was like, all right, I'm just gonna read back the book report, right? So I just created my own book report, right? And teacher pulled me aside after she had looked at the assignments and stuff. She put me aside. And she asked me, she said, Tyler, did you really read this book? I was like, yeah. Yeah, I read it. Yeah. She's like, well, I don't think you read this book. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, because your book report kind of spins off into a direction that's not what this book is about. And she's like, and I'm really kind of, taken back by that, because she was like, she's like, I've seen you play. You would really like to read this book. You really should read. You should have read it. And I was like, man, I ain't think none of it. Whatever. Then eventually one day, later on, I ended up reading the book. But it was one of those pivotal moments in my life where I just did not understand the magnitude of the person that I was reading about. And, I learned to start appreciating people, you know what I'm saying? Appreciating what people give to you and add to you. And just that moment of what she said, after I thought about it, made me realize, saying what he did and the way he played was similar to how I played basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like totally, like, you know what I'm saying? Like just Mr. Do It All. You know what I'm saying? That was my mentality out there. I could score on you. You know what I'm saying? I'll get you some rebounds. I'll go rebound. I love rebounding. You know what I'm saying? And then, I'm gonna drop them dimes. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find my people, push the tempo, find somebody in the corner for to pop that three. And that's similar to how he played. And it was like when she said that, I didn't hear it right away. A little while after I read it, a little while after, I heard it ringing in my ear. And what made me read it again, and I started to realize why she said that. Like that dude, Big O, man, was a ball player, man. He was just a basketball player, man. He just went out there and did everything that he needed to do for his team to be in a position to win. And not only to be in a position to win, but being able to be in a position to win a championship. It's totally different. Being in a position to win a game is totally different than the mindset you have to be in to win a championship. Because there's only one. There's only one, right? And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You like participation trophies. It's all good. Get them participation trophies out, whatever. But championship, you know what I'm saying? There's something different about it, man. Some people play like they're trying to win a championship. Some people play like they're just trying to play, right? So Big O was one of those guys, man. He's trying to play like championship. Him and Russell Westbrook. But they're not talked about in the GOAT category or in the GOAT conversation, right? They're not high on the list of GOAT conversations. You know what I'm saying? And you got to take a look at it, with all those categories, like what really, makes people put somebody in that top GOAT, right? The top categories to be talked about in the GOAT. And I think one of the things is the most influential. I think you got to be influential. I think you could be like I was talking about with Donovan Mitchell. It's a shame that he was on Utah and got overshadowed by a lot of guys in the NBA. But um, how influential are you? You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry is very influential. That's why he's in the conversations. Kobe was an amazing influential person. Um, you listen to him when he spoke. You listen to him. Shaq, LeBron, MJ. These guys were, AI. Allen Iverson. I just talked about how you changed the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing too. I think with being an influential person is the way you affect the game too. And I think that has nothing to do with the ball being in your hand at all. I think a lot of times what you do outside of the sport, um, as far as marketability, helps with the longevity of being in this game and what you do afterwards after you leave the game. You got guys going into to sports writing, sports casting, broadcasting. And you got guys coaching, training. Your longevity speaks to your resume also. Not just the longevity of how long you're playing in the game, but also just the longevity of how you're affecting it, play into it too. Um, and you know, overall, I think the biggest category for me when it comes to talking about the GOAT, the greatest of all time, for me, I think the biggest category for me, the top category out of all those categories I just listed and gave you guys that I go through, it's my show. It's what I do, right? You listen to it, blessings. If you don't, it ain't meant for you. But one of the biggest categories for me, for mine, is the killer instinct. That killer instinct. There's nothing like a killer instinct. There's nothing like a person that's like, we are going to win this game. And I'm going to make sure we win this game. Right. And I was talking to one of my guys, man. I put a post on Facebook about my 5-year-old son and being in baseball. And I was just talking about, I said a whole bunch of stuff, right? I said a whole bunch of stuff, talked about his swing, talk about this and talk about this. And then my last line was, the team looks good. Looks like they might get some wins. And then somebody said something about back to me, on the post about not being pushing the whole idea of winning. And I was like, well, everything that I said, I talked about his form, it was bad, and everything he needs to work on. And I said winning. But nobody pointed out anything about the things I said the kid needs to work on until I said winning. And I was thinking in my head, like, but why would I not want to instill that? Because, like I said, you look at the GOATs of all time, and one of the things in those GOATs, every one of them, every GOAT, every person's GOAT, because everybody's got a GOAT. I told you, every person's GOAT is a killer instinct in each one of them. Each one of them got a killer instinct. Each one of them. When do they develop that? When do they develop the mentality of just saying, I'm going to do what I got to do to win this game? Win, right? Right. So what's wrong with me putting that into a 5-year-old? You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's not the only thing, because that's why I had a list of other things. It was like the fifth thing on the list. So in all actuality, if it's the fifth thing on the list, then it's 20%. So I'm specifically writing and showing that it's not the most important thing, because I only wrote about it 20% of the time. Right. So, but you still have to have that instinct. You got to find it from somewhere. It's got to be instilled in you somehow. Somebody's got to be telling you, or like I said, it's innate in you. Some people are born like that, right? Some people just born just be like just dogs, right? And that killer instinct, man, tops over any category that you could ever think of. Any category you ever think of. And with that killer instinct leads me to tell y'all the GOAT, the greatest of all times, is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Nobody can do everything that I just listed in all those categories and have the illest killer instinct to ever walk the face of sports. I mean, that dude punches his own teammates when they miss a shot. They punch their own teammates when they miss a shot. You know what I'm saying? And then the teammate go out there and don't ever miss a shot again. He what they say, what your boy say? Your boy Rogers said Craig Hodges. I'm sorry. Hodges just said that he never lost a killer. The killers that they ran, the lines that they ran, he never lost. Like dude, that's a competitive nature, bro. Like you talk about seeing videos of him shooting dice with with the uh um the stadium staff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Losing to the stadium staff, basically get that dude fired. You know what I'm saying? But that was his nature, man. That was his nature. And that killer instinct is one that puts him above everything else because he has basically all the other tools. You back up, I go backwards in all of this stuff. I mean, marketability, longevity. Most influential. Mhm. I mean, do it all player. He could do it all. He could do it all. I mean, he wasn't high in the cat. He wasn't the highest ranked in all the categories, but he could do it all. He could defend. He was defensive player of the year. He could score on you. Yes, score on you. Yes, 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 he could. And he could drop dimes too. He could find you. Like I said, he punched one of the players in the face because they missed a three when he passed it to him. But you know what I'm saying? So he was a shoot. He was a scorer. He wasn't a pure shooter. Like his shot wasn't like one of the highest in the game, but he could score. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of people get shooting misunderstood. They think that shooting is just being, feet away from the rim, but field goal percentage includes layups too, right? So, he can score. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, good defense, dominant, hands down, one of the most dominant, especially at his position. Most dominant player. He dunk on your head. Everybody got dunked on. He literally named it before. He said everybody got dunked on. He called names out. Everybody got dunked on. Rings. He's in there. He got 6. He in there. And that's one of the strongest arguments a lot of people use is the rings. Like I told you when I first started. Using the rings as the reason why they speak upon the GOAT. Well, he has 6. So, I think that's probably what 4th, 5th, 6th on the list, but that's a lot of rings. So, like I said, you know what I'm saying? All the categories that we just spoke about, he's in there in the top on all of them. You know what I'm saying? And for me personally, that killer instinct tops all those categories, and there's nobody that has more of a killer instinct than him. Kobe's was right next to him. Jerry West's killer instinct was the illest. That's why he the logo. He got the logo. They paid him his dues. People trying to stop. People trying to conversate and say maybe they should change the logo to Jordan. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's the conversation you're gonna have if you have that mentality. That killer mentality is something a lot of people don't have. That's why you looked at as being the greatest, because a lot of people don't have that instinct. A lot of people don't have that ability to take their mind to that level. And yeah, when I watched that Showtime Lakers documentary, what was it on Peacock? Yeah, on Peacock. Yeah, that was or on Max. It was on Max. And they just told the story about the Lakers and just to kind of see Jerry West and just like his drive and do research on him after that. And like his mentality was like, dude, some people just have that, bro. Some people just have that killer instinct where they were like, then we're going to do anything that we can to win. And that passion and that love for the game, man, it's unrivaled by anybody. So, and the best to ever have that is Michael Jeffrey Jordan, man. MJ, his airness, man. Big love to you, man, for changing the game and making it so that young men can fly. You know what I'm saying? I believe I can fly. And that's my GOAT debate, man. You know what I'm saying? So have your category winners, but the actual greatest of all time to ever walk the basketball court is Michael Jordan. Test me. Holla at your boy, man. I'm gonna let you guys go, man. I didn't know I was gonna ramble for this long. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes these GOAT debates, they can go long. Love y'all. Blessings to y'all. Have a good day. Probably won't be on tonight. T-Wolves is playing tonight. If it's not too late, I'll get on. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, one love to everybody, man. Blessings. And take care of what you got to tell you. It's hump day, Wednesday. You're halfway there to the weekend. Get out, have some fun. and get out and watch some basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time right now. Playoffs is going on right now. We got about what, two? We got one, five teams, 6 teams, 7 teams left. Pretty soon, it's gonna be one, and basketball's gonna be over. We don't have nothing to do. 2 months of football. Come on, go. Anyways, right? We'll talk about that as we get a little bit closer to that too. But enjoy the basketball that we have going on, man. There's some pretty good games going on, some pretty good teams. So, and blessings to you guys. And remember, man, hey, your goats in your categories can be the goats to you. And this is just, like I said, this is just my opinion of how I feel and the reasons why I break down that category the way I break it down. But everybody has their own views, and I would love to hear yours. So if you got anything to say about it, man, put it on there. Tap in, type something down, write something down to me, holler at me. But yeah, one love, man. Blessings from God.